Hi guys, so today I want to introduce you to the idea that I'm sure you'll be familiar with if you've clicked on this video, and that is identity shifting, okay? And what I mean by identity shifting is that we all have an identity, right? A concept that we think about ourselves to be true. And what the idea that I want to introduce with you is, to identity shift, we need to stop thinking about ourselves in the way that we are thinking about ourselves and start thinking about ourselves in another way that's more empowering. So this goes down to two concepts. For example, the version 1 of yourself and then the version 2 of yourself. Okay, so we'll say you have two versions that you can be and that you think about all the time, because we know almost automatically who we think we are, right? And then we have an idea of who we'd like to be. And that version that we like to be, we sense that there's a gap, right? We can feel that there's a gap, because I'll give you an example. There could be a version of me, there's my 1.0 version that, possibly, living my life, going on with my things, and there's certain things that I am not yet at my second version to be able to call my first version my second version, my 2.0 version. So then there could be my 2.0 version, which would be the person that, for me, would be my ideal self. So I need to ask myself, and what we need to ask ourselves is, what does my 2.0 version, my ideal version self, have that my 1.0 version doesn't have, right? And what we can do is we can write this down on a piece of paper, because when you write things down, you can always observe them better, right? So what you put is, on your first version, your 1.0 version, which is the version you're identifying with now, you will put the beliefs about yourself in certain different areas, okay? So you could have a belief about yourself in business, in your abundance. You could have a belief about yourself in relationships. You'll have a belief about yourself in health, right? So in all of these different sections, you'll have a belief about yourself that you're living up to because you believe it to be true. And that's the identity that you formed about yourself, right? So what I'm getting at is that if you create an identity for yourself in all those areas, you're automatically not letting yourself jump out or space out of that image or identity that you've created for yourself. Because when we assume or we live up or believe an identity about ourselves, what we do is we look out in the outer world, or we live out in our outer world in circumstances, places, people and things. We look out for things and ideas and experiences every day to reaffirm that idea that we have about ourselves. So we're always on a loop, you see. So what's happening is I could think, I'm never going to be making more than such amount of money. I won't be able to leave my 9 to 5. So I will keep looking for ideas in reality that will reaffirm that belief to me so that I believe that it's true. And I won't be able to escape out of there, you see? That's the same with relationships. I know some people think, I always, end up attracting people that lie, or always end up attracting this type of guy or that type of guy. And the thing is, because you're living up to that belief to be true about yourself, you will always end up attracting that, because you're reaffirming that idea and your own self-image is not letting you jump out of that, okay? Then, for example, the point about health. Some people say, I can never be somebody that is super healthy and makes, my body a priority, or I go to the gym all the time. That type of person won't be able to prolongly live out the identity of somebody that does take care of their health as a priority, or does eat healthily as something that's normally incorporated into their routine. Okay, so that's that section of things. Then we'll have your ideal self, your 2.0, okay? And what this version of you that we can all think of for ourselves in our head, we'll project into this, the ideal person of me, where think about the power of imagination, it's absolutely incredible. The ideal self, what you're thinking about is you're thinking, for example, that person, that ideal version of me is, rich, and maybe, for example, driving that nice sports car, living in a tropical climate, a warm climate, they look great, they've got, time to themselves, they don't have to work this 9 to 5, they're abundant, they can move freely, we can image that self of ours, right? And then you feel the gap. the scary gap between this is where I am now, this is where I want to be, it seems so far away, okay? And what we need to do is now, and this is where the exercise gets exciting, is we need to write down the beliefs that we have about ourselves now. Were we to be the person, the 2.0 version of ourselves, how would those beliefs be flipped? Okay, so we'll have the 1.0 version and we'll put the beliefs about ourselves, about the relationship, about the health, about the abundance that you can make, the business. And then you'll have the 2.0 version where you'll flip those beliefs. So any belief that you're believing about yourself now that's limiting you from being that 2.0 version of yourself needs to shift, okay? So for example, the health, the business, and the abundance, to change the beliefs that I think about those things of myself now, for example, having them flipped would be, my health is amazing, I have a beautiful body, I have a healthy athlete type of body or agile type of body that, you know, makes me feel proud of myself. It gets me, you know, it takes care of me, my body is healthy and all of those things. And then you'll have the abundance thing where you'd say, I am financially more abundant than I'd ever thought. I'm financially free. I am somebody that works for themselves, you know, and I have money coming into my life. That would be the belief flipped. It wouldn't be the belief that you have now. And then thirdly, the other belief you would have about yourself is relationships. You'd say, I attract healthy relationships. Or if you're in your relationship now, you'd say, me and my partner are in a loving relationship, and I'm not, for example, I know when I show love, I receive love back, you see. So all of these ways that we do these change or flips of beliefs will then empower us. And see, what the magic with that now is that it will bridge the space between where you are thinking you are now, the identity you've constructed for yourself now, and that 2.0 version, which is the version of yourself that you idealize and want to be. So really, to be able to shift this, right, all you need to do is change the beliefs you have about yourself. Because when you rephrase those beliefs, you give energy, you give motion to the new belief. You are working on yourself now. And reality will have no choice but to start bringing that belief back into your reality, showing that belief into your reality, right? Because you've put the energy behind it, you've changed your concept about yourself, and you've changed the idea of what life is going to be able to show you. So once you change that belief of, again, for example, you want to make videos on YouTube, as I'm making videos on YouTube, I could think in the process of this, oh, I'm not confident on camera, I don't look good on camera, I'm not somebody that makes good videos. But what the shift of that would need to be is, I am confident on camera, I am good at filming videos. And you see, when I change the identity I've given myself, and it's an active thought, right? This isn't a thought that's in the past, this is a thought that's actually active, that's going to keep going. When I think that thought about myself, I'm actively giving that thought energy into the future. So life is going to support that because I'm creating a new identity for myself. Okay, so it can sound a little bit complicated, but the help that we can have to make this easier for ourselves is writing these things down, because then we can reflect on them. You know, and these exercises, they're not going to happen maybe in one day where, you know, you can have a quick shift in a day, but most likely these shifts will happen in a prolonged space of time, in the sense of it might take you a week to start readjusting these ideas. But try this exercise out in identity shifting, and I'm sure that you'll find some value in it. And also, let me know if it's worked for you, if you've got any ideas that maybe I can add in. I'm going to be carrying on this identity shifting series, as it's something that I'm very passionate about showing you guys, because I know it made such a difference in my personal life. And in the future, I will also be letting you guys know about my personal story and how I did a major identity shift for myself to get me from a certain ideal and a certain concept and a certain place and persona that I was to where I am right now. Okay, so please, if you've enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe share it with someone if you think it could help them. And I love you guys. Take care. See you next time. Bye.